So I wasn't planning on really making a video today, but I just can't stop thinking about this. And I have honestly been processing it because I am genuinely still in shock about this entire thing. So I found out about Oliver Tree's death about a week ago, but I was just literally shocked. I was like, wait, this can't be real. This I had to look it up. I had to see multiple sources and I really could not believe it. I knew he was making tons of music and I knew he just had an album out. One of the main things that I just kept thinking about is he's younger than me, and I really just I did not think he would die this young. I'm just surprised. I really thought that he would have a very long career and just continue to make music into his old age because I knew that he loved doing it. So I just wanted to make this sort of as not really a news report, but me grieving and processing an artist who genuinely changed me. Before I even get through any of the facts or what happened exactly, I just want you to know what he was to me. I think the first song that I heard from him, it was Alien Boy, and I just could not get enough of that song. I remember listening to that song endlessly while I was in Vienna, Austria, and I was riding a scooter around, and I knew that he loved scootering. And I just loved watching his music videos. He is so creative and there is just no one like him. And the thing about him is I always felt less alone when I listened to his music. I felt like we're both from some strange galaxy out there and we're just artists who just want to express ourselves. And I felt that so much, especially in Alien Boy. So much of his music truly changed me as a person, and I genuinely felt like I was connected to him, like cosmically. Like I feel this way about certain artists, like Olivia Rodrigo, Melanie Martinez, Marina and the Diamonds. And he was just one of those people. When he passed, I literally genuinely started crying, and I was listening to his music, and I'm actually still in shock, but I could not help but just try to dig deeper into what exactly happened because it just felt wrong. On June 14th, 2026, in Rio de Janeiro, two helicopters collided mid-air. 6 people died, no survivors. Pretty much kicking off his tour of his new album, Love You Madly, Hate You Badly, which he had been working on over the past 2 years and traveling around the world to get clips for this album and just making music while traveling. So he was pretty much at the start of his world tour, and this was the biggest tour of his life. 70 shows, 30 countries, and he was in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and he just played a show there on June 6th. And his next stop was going to be Lisbon, Portugal, where I am currently. And that just gave me chills because I was like, I could have seen him, right? Like, it made me so sad. I actually didn't even know about it because I have been so heavy in other work, but I would have loved to see him if he came here. And it just was a weird feeling. So they don't actually know why these 2 helicopters crashed. 6 people died. I know that one person was a popular YouTuber from Brazil. I'm not sure about the other people, but it is just such a tragedy for everyone. Because I am so invested in him as a person, I follow him. I love watching his music videos. I've even watched his interviews. I genuinely had to figure out what exactly happened. Like, I just was so curious about what was going on. So after digging, I just found some things that I genuinely did not know what to do with it. I would say one of the most eerie things that happened was in February, just 4 months before he died. He released a music video called Flowers. And I watched that music video multiple times, and it just felt too ironic for there not to be some connection, because the entire music video has helicopters, planes, even numbers that kind of represent certain things. But the most eerie shot was him going up these stairs with two helicopters on each side, as if he knew he was going to go. And I can't help but look for symbolism, look for signs. Even in the song Flowers, he says, and stop avoiding all the signs. And the very last line of the song was, 'cause I'll hate you till the day I'm dead. You know, he does talk about death a lot, but this one just felt weird, and he's falling down. I don't know why, the goosebumps came up, and I couldn't help but dig even deeper. And then there's the interview, just weeks before his death.
And so when I die, I've set it up, my will is set up that when I pass, my family, no one's going to get a penny. So I've set up a foundation. It's called Dr. Oliver Tree's Art Grants for Baby Geniuses. And it's set up so that basically the interest generated from my music will take mostly that, but there's also room for other money, because when I die, my art will continue to have residuals and probably be worth more.
It just felt strange that he was describing his will in so much detail just weeks before the entire thing went down. So of course I had to dig deeper. I just had to know what other signs there could possibly be. And when he was 17, he went to Burning Man and he took a bunch of LSD.
I went on a family vacation to Burning Man.
Yeah.
And I had this experience where I ended up eating a bunch of acid. I brought it for my family. I ended up eating all this acid myself. And then I'm at my own funeral, and all my family's there, and they're literally crying. They're like, he was such a good kid.
And he said that entire experience it just changed him. And he just woke up the next day feeling reborn. And after doing it, he realized that music was the thing to live for, and making music would heal him. He also mentioned that that was the time that he truly, truly decided to live his life to the fullest. And if you know anything about him, he for sure has. He's done some pretty insane stunts. He does not care about looking weird or silly or funny or standing out in a crowd. He is just so authentically his weird alien voice self, and that is why I connect with him so much. But after hearing about this incident he went through, I just felt like some people just carry a knowing. I can't explain it, but it felt like someone trying to finish something before they were gonna leave. And this is the most crazy part that I just can't stop thinking about. He spent 2 years working on this album, recording across 82 countries and 7 continents. And his label tried to cancel the entire album because he wouldn't make TikTok songs. So he spoke about it. He spoke about this entire experience and told his fans about it. And his fans rallied behind him. He got the album back. He was able to put it on his own label, Alien Boy Records. And then he was gone. Watching an artist refuse to make himself smaller for an algorithm and win, and then loses his life months later, it makes me just think about every creative who's been told to be put inside of a box, to make stuff for TikTok, to make stuff smaller, to make stuff better for marketing, to change their masterpiece that they're working on for business, numbers, and money. And he said no. He bet everything on making real art. And the one thing that I just have to take from this entire event is the best time to make your art, to make something that really means something to your soul, to what you're passionate about, is now. Even his last album feels so much like him. It's a heart built entirely out of broken machinery, scraps, metal parts. It kind of looks like a crash, actually, in a sense. But that was kind of his whole thing. And I truly felt it in my bones in his music. I felt like I was releasing anger or angst that I was holding. And it's just crazy to think that he's actually gone now. And I just keep landing on the same feeling. He was just so 100% himself that it almost felt confrontational. He didn't soften, he didn't make the TikTok song. He built a heart made out of scrap metal, and he had a plan to give his money to artists when he died. That's not a career. That is legendary. It's iconic. And the thing that his music did for me is all that I've ever wanted to do with my art, which is to just give somebody else the permission to be as weird and unapologetically themselves as they possibly can. I believe that by setting myself free, I can set other people free to be who they want to be, to dress how they want to be, to unapologetically show who they are under all of the layers. He definitely left something that I will personally never forget. I even went to 2 of his shows by myself, actually. One was at Outside Lands, one was at the Warfield, and everyone was so nice. I'll never forget going to see him. I knew like all the lyrics to a bunch of his songs. And if you haven't heard of him, I would recommend checking him out. He's honestly such a real guy. Like, it really is sad to see this whole thing happen. So I just wanted to make this video in memory of him. Rest in peace, Oliver Tree. You will be extremely missed.